Hello everyone and welcome back to Starship Traveller. When we last left off, we just solved all the problems of the planet Kliba, and we received some nice little rewards for our efforts, including a transdimensional compass, whatever it may be useful for, and some information, as well as the knowledge that we have done some truly heroic deeds. And we have survived an encounter with a planet that has an poisonous atmosphere. We are coming along quite nicely. We are proceeding with our quest pretty well and gathering all kinds of information here. And our crew is almost at maximum strength. Security officer Andy still needs one set of healing before he's back up at maximum 21 stamina, and our ship is a bit damaged, well, quite severely damaged, but we're all fine. So let us proceed. I'm feeling positive about this. Now we are back on the bridge and everything is, as I've said, in equilibrium. Everything is tranquil and we have a few options to go for. As I stated previously, we are going to go for the blue planet. That sounds the most inviting one. And yeah, we definitely want to avoid meeting other spaceships, so the third option is scratched off the list. And out of the two planets, I like the blue one better, so let's go there and see where we are. We approach the blue planet and take up orbit position. Scanners indicate that the planet is inhabited and that there is considerable development of the planet's surface by some intelligent life form, suggesting a well-organized social structure. Okay, so this is an advanced planet, a planet with an advanced race or species of alien creatures. So far so good. We try various radio frequencies and after some time an alien face appears on the screen. Dressed in a uniform of some kind, this creature is humanoid but thin, with a large bulbous head and bony fingers. He announces himself as First Officer I. Abale of the National Government of Jolson 3. We explain our plight and reassure him that we mean no harm. He invites us, but only us, to beam down to his offices. So, I guess it's a solo adventure. The captain himself alone must go if it's possible, if we accept this kind of challenge or invitation. I don't think that we are in any danger. These are very advanced. These seem to be very advanced creatures, and probably we look actually more primitive to them. And so I don't see a real reason why we should not accept this invitation. Besides, we should find out about as much about this place as we can, and this seems like a perfectly good opportunity to do just that. So let's beam down and visit this planet and meet First Officer I. Abale. As we appear in his office, I. Abale comes forward to greet us. From his surroundings we deduce that this society is indeed sophisticated with a technology far more advanced than our own. The surface of his desk floats in the air and he sits behind it, apparently on thin air. He invites us to sit, but there are no chairs. Cautiously we sit as he has done, and some unseen force takes our weight. Alright, he looks pretty weird, but I don't think he's dangerous. He's definitely not threatening. So hopefully we can learn something valuable from them, technologically or related to our mission or our quest to get back home. I'm pretty sure that this was a good idea to come back down here, and let's see what we can offer in return for his help and services. Around the walls are moving holograms positioned as on an Earth executive may have works of art hanging in his office. To the side of his desk is a screen which he talks into. Moments later, another alien arrives with a tray of what we assume are refreshments. I. Abale introduces this newcomer and offers us food and drink. Alright? We could politely decline, but obviously such an advanced civilization has ways of telling what is, you know, what is safe to consume for us and what is poison or what is the, lethal food stuff. So I'm positive that they are not trying to poison us. They are not going to poison us. Let's see. Let's accept his offer and keep on, conversing. These offerings have a somewhat synthetic taste and texture, but they are not unpleasant, and we begin to talk to the first officer about our own world while he tells us about Jolson 3. A short time later, we begin to feel drowsy, which is very strange, as we are not due a rest for several hours. Our eyelids get heavy, and we must fight to remain conscious. And I guess Abiel must be a boring partner in conversation. Ha ha ha. Too late, we realize that our food was drugged. We hear Abiel in a muffled voice saying to his assistant, "Let us take our visitor to the portal lab." And we lose consciousness. We awake and try to move. We struggle, but some invisible force holds our limbs. Oh, we're in some pickle right here. We are in a clean white room with various machines and computer terminals on hover tables around the walls. I hope this is not an operating room, but Ayaba stated that it's some kind of portal, so hopefully it's nothing so perilous. Abiel stands before us. "Stranger," he begins, "you have a privileged opportunity to aid our technological development. Our technicians have developed a space-time portal which acts as a doorway between our universe and your own. We have chosen you as our first experimental subject." He points to one corner of the room where a freestanding frame, something like a door frame, stands. Looking through the frame, we can see nothing. Two technicians pull us to our feet and hold us in front of the frame. Another presses a button on a small gadget, and with a faint buzz, our hands and feet are free. We try to immediately break the grip of our captors, but as we do so, they push us forwards through the frame, and we step through the portal. Okay, now we're in for it. As we pass through the frame, we fall forwards. We panic, but then we realize that we are not really falling, but rather floating downwards through empty space. Gradually, our surroundings become lighter, and we can see that we are coming to a sort of pathway, seemingly made of a non-material energy. As we alight on it, we look around. The path twists and turns, forks and converges ahead of us like a spider's web set in a black void. The path appears to be able to support our weight, but all around is empty blackness. Cautiously, we proceed along the path, feeling our way with our feet. Alright, this must be some kind of interdimensional connecting pathway, route, and I'm positive that at least some of these paths are lethal or lead to nowhere, and I guess we are expected to navigate it. Let's see how well it goes. The strange transdimensional compass that Brancel gave us begins to light up. Remembering his words, we concentrate on the path the compass indicates we should take. Well, we have no better indication. We could choose randomly, but instead let us follow the transdimensional compass since we have it. Hopefully this works out to our benefit. We step into space and, to our surprise, our foot touches something solid, which bears our weight. Moving forwards, we hear an electrical buzz, and a flash of light blinds us momentarily. When we open our eyes, we find ourselves back in the portal lab with Abiel and his technicians watching us. They rush forward to congratulate us. Their experiment has been successful. As Abiel takes us from the lab back to his office, he explains that they were able to monitor our activities with their instruments and that the experiment has answered several of the unknowns that they had come across in their investigations. So we have been a useful lab rat. Very good. Uh, does the guinea pig get any consolation prize or reward for its assistance? However, although their portal may transport our crew back to our own universe, they would be stranded without the ship. The ship would need a much bigger portal, but their investigations indicate that such a portal will occur naturally at a certain time in the vicinity of the black hole in sector 159. Abel shows us on a star chart where sector 159 is. We ask about other planets in the galaxy. He is unable to give details but suggests we head for Malini, a mining planet several light years away. We contact the ship and prepare to board it. Alright, so I guess they used up as a kind of a experimental subject, which is not nice, without our consent. But on the other hand, once we have fulfilled our role, they were at least kind enough to give us some information. And this is a very good lead we can use, because they clearly managed to connect our two universes, so the way back is found, and hopefully their instruments are correct when stating that the black hole in sector 159 is identical to this path or gateway. And it is true, we could probably take this portal back to our universe, but without the ship we would have failed our mission, and I'm pretty sure that the Admiral would not be kind to us if we arrived home without anything but just ourselves and some pieces of information we have gathered. So we should leave, hopefully before they come up with any more experiments that they want to conduct with our unwilling assistance. So let's beam up and get out of here. Medical officer Diane tends to the wounded as usual. Leaving orbit around Jolson 3, we search the area for life-supporting planets with our scanners. A small yellow planet is picked up as the nearest. Alright, so good news. Everybody is back at maximum stamina, and that included only Andy, our security officer. We could skip this planet, but why would we? Let's see what it's about, and worst case scenario you can still break orbit and leave for the next interesting point of interest in space. We take up orbit position around a small planet circling a large yellow star. Scanners indicate the planet is probably devoid of life. The surface is hot and volcanic. What are our orders? Okay, we beam down, we check out every nook and cranny in this universe. So even though this is a small planet with a hot volcanic surface, probably nothing of any interest is down there, but we might find something, good or bad. And we want to search everything, as I've said. First of all, this looks like a dangerous mission, so we are going to take our least useful member of our crew, and this is Pete. We're also going to take Security Officer Tommy B. He might come in handy when selecting, with his knowledge of geology. So let's hope this works out in our advantage, and let's beam down. We and the crew members accompanying us down to the planet's surface head for the transmitter unit. We leave the ship and reappear on the surface of the planet. The heat is tremendous, and the cooling systems within our EVA suits must work at maximum. The surface of the planet is volcanic, and small eruptions in the ground around us spray out molten lava. Okay, so practically we've arrived at the surface of hell. But apart from the lava eruptions themselves, which obviously are dangerous, we don't seem to be in any immediate danger, so there is no like poison. We are in our EVA suits anyway, no hostile creatures. Let's scan for signs of life, see if we find anything. We could also examine the erupting volcano, but first let's scan for signs of life. That sounds more useful. The extreme temperature on the planet prevents our scanner from functioning properly. What great equipment we have. Some hot lava is enough to mess with it. Great. There is no way of telling whether or not life exists here. We could abandon this inhospitable planet right now, but we are no cowards, and again, we might find at least something halfway useful around here. So let's explore a bit further on foot. We can probably still run away at any time we deem necessary. So let's see what is there to see on this beautiful planet. The party approaches the rim of a large crater. Looking cautiously over the edge, we peer down into a pool of molten rock. The heat is unbearable. Suddenly, the ground behind us ruptures and the rock under our feet crumbles, causing us all to lose our balance. Okay, we need to roll a luck roll, need to do an attribute test against our luck, and our luck is at 6, so we might very easily fail this, and we do. Our luck has run out. Wow. Managing to steady ourselves in time, we stumble back from the edge of the violent volcano. Smoke and ash spew from it, and we fall backwards. Waiting for the smoke to clear, we search for our remaining crew members. There is a horrific scream. Wow. Somebody just died. Fortunately, we get to pick who, and obviously Science Officer Tommy B is indispensable and irreplaceable, so he's definitely staying with us. Unfortunately, it seems that it is our second guard, Pete, who fell into the lava. Oh, poor one, already in his first adventure. That was the first time we took him along, and he immediately fell into a volcano. Rest in peace. Second guard Pete has been killed in active duty. He will be missed. Moment of silence. Poor guy. We and the remaining crew, that is Tommy B, decide to return to the Sylvana rather than to continue to explore this dangerously inhospitable planet. That's right. We already lost one member. We don't need to die, all of us here. I don't think there is much to gain from here. Let's beam up. Alright. We contact the ship and instruct them to beam us up. We arrive back in the transmitter unit, glad to have left the inferno below. We return to the bridge. Medical officer Diane tends to any wounded, but we don't have any wounded. Unfortunately, we also lost Pete, who is deceased. We have our first death in this series. Fortunately, it's somebody that we don't desperately need. We have two great security personnel along with us, and I guess this is the fate of the red shirts anyway, it's that they die. He didn't deserve it, but that's it. Our greed got the better of us. Captain Slayer is not immaculate. He makes mistakes. Let us return to the bridge. Our nearest destination is a large grey planet some 2.3 light years ahead. Well, I guess we already have 3 engineering personnel dead from the poison and poor Pete, so this is turning into a costly adventure. Hopefully our mission will be a success, so at least it's worth the casualties. Let us set course for the large grey planet. Sensors indicate that we are approaching a large spaceport. Well, at least finally some good news. Spaceport means civilization, obviously, advanced civilization, and our ship is damaged, so we could dock for repairs. Let's see if that works out. As we approach the spaceport, we receive a confused message warning us not to dock. We try again to contact the spaceport, but we receive no reply. Alright, we are still going to dock. If they are in trouble, we might be able to help them out, right? And so that is going to be our course of action. Let's dock. We dock at the spaceport and head through the airlock to the command center. Who do we take along with us? Poor Pete is deceased, and I wouldn't want to take him anyway. Let's take one of the security guards, and this is going to be Steve this time. Both members of the security team are excellent, as I've mentioned repeatedly, so they are great assets. And so I just picked one randomly practically. And we're also gonna take either our engineering officer or our science officer with us. Hopefully one of them will be able to help out. Now, who has the better stats? And it is Sultan. Sultan has much better stats, and by much I mean he has 1 point higher stats in each and every stat. So we're gonna take him now. Besides, we let Tommy B rest a bit and mourn his friend and comrade, and you know, he might want to skip this one out after the inferno that we survived. Alright, let's beam down. Let's enter the spaceport. As we walk around the complex, we pass creatures of various alien races. Curiously, we noticed that they all appear to walk with difficulty and shrink away from us as we approach, spluttering and stumbling as if in some sort of daze. At the command center, we meet the port commandant. He is disheartened by our presence and explains that a resilient strain of microorganisms has infected the spaceport and the infection is widespread. He can send his engineers to attend to our ship, but we will have to provide them with EVA suits and destroy these suits afterwards. We agree. The Sylvana's weapon strength and shield scores are restored to their initial levels, but at the cost of risk of possible infection. Alright, this is good news, I guess. We have our shields back, which is crucial. If we get into another battle, then the Sylvana is back at maximum capacity. And even though one of us might be infected, Diane is the best medical personnel around, so we are in great hands. Hopefully this turns out well. I don't want to lose another crew member. Let's leave the spaceport. We set off again towards the large grey planet. Unfortunately, endangering our crew has resulted in a crew member contracting the infection. That's great, isn't it? Who is infected? Now, we get to choose who is infected, and Sultan is irreplaceable and indispensable, so we are not going to select him. He is... there is no other engineering officer on board, so if we need one, then you know, we can only count on him. Besides, we have another guard, so Steve is kind of still expendable. Let's hope he fares better than his poor comrade. Let's check on him. Steve appears to have contracted the microorganism from the space station. Medical officer Diane tries desperately to come up with a cure, and our beautiful medical officer should be able to handle this, and she does neatly. It was well within her expertise to take care of this. Now, what I wonder is why we never offered to assist the spaceport out, at least with a cure or a vaccine or whatever. But whatever, they didn't ask us, and we were rude enough not to offer. So we just took the repairs, we cured our own crew, I guess, and off we go. Thanks to the intelligence and expertise of our medical officer, she manages to find a cure in time. Steve thanks her profusely. Although we are lost in space, our crew takes a brief moment to celebrate this good news. And it is good news indeed. Finally, something worthwhile. After losing Pete, we have repaired the Sylvana up to maximum capacity, for free by the way, and we managed to cure poor Steve. I would have dreaded to lose 2 red shirts in one session. Alright, now it's time to celebrate with the crew, and we are going to do that off screen. I invite you to join us mentally in this celebration that so far we have been largely successful. We have obtained a lot of information and we are proceeding well with our quest, and the only setback is losing our poor second guard. I'm going to make the cut of the video right here, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.